The most important battlefield of the war stretched thousands of miles, across gray horizons, and beneath cold Atlantic swells, an invisible architecture of protection took shape. Columns of merchant ships, rings of escorts, and a thin veil of technology. By the end of this journey, the logic, tension, and fragile order of the convoy system will stand clear. Dawn comes late in the North Atlantic winter. The sea is a flat, metallic surface, broken only by the slow heave of swells and the distant silhouettes of merchant ships. In the cramped operations room of an escort destroyer, dim red lighting bathes metal surfaces and tired faces. Condensation beads on pipes overhead, dripping softly onto worn deck plates. Men move with practiced economy, boots thudding dully, voices kept low. Beyond the steel bulkheads, the ship vibrates with the steady turning of its screws. On the bridge, officers peer through binoculars at the convoy's columns, counting masts, checking spacing. Every vessel has a place, every place a number in the unseen grid that holds this moving city together. Fuel is limited, radar and sonar are temperamental, and the weather is an ally and an enemy at once. The convoy must keep to schedule, yet never become predictable. The convoy system exists because the ocean, once open and free, has become a hunting ground. Merchant ships, sailing alone, have proven too vulnerable to submarines that can wait, listen, and strike from the depths. Grouping ships together seems, at first, to invite disaster, more targets in one place. Yet the logic is harsh and simple. Concentrated ships can be shielded by concentrated escorts. A ring of destroyers, corvettes, and armed trawlers can patrol the perimeter, their hydrophones straining for the faint beat of approaching propellers. Aircraft, when weather and range allow, can sweep the skies above and the surface below. Up to this point, the war at sea has been a contest of reach and endurance. Submarines can travel far, but must husband fuel and torpedoes. Convoys move slowly, bound by the pace of the slowest freighter, yet they carry the weight of entire campaigns in their holds: food, fuel, ammunition, machinery. Pressure builds on every side. On land, commanders demand more supplies. At sea, escort captains demand more ships and better equipment. In the submarines, commanders demand more daring. In the escort's sonar room, the air is thick and still. Operators sit hunched over consoles, headphones pressed tight, listening for the faintest echo beneath the constant wash of the sea. A wrong decision, a false contact chased too far, a gap left in the screen, can open a path into the convoy's heart. The ocean is wide, but the margin for error is narrow. Night falls quickly at high latitudes, and with it comes the most dangerous hours. The convoy's lights are blacked out, only the faintest glimmer of phosphorescence tracing the bow waves. On the destroyer's bridge, instruments glow softly, casting pale halos on watchful faces. The escort commander studies the pattern. Columns of ships stretching astern, escorts weaving in slow, deliberate arcs around them. Somewhere beyond the edge of visibility, unseen periscopes may be watching, unseen ears counting propeller beats. Orders pass in low, clipped phrases through voice pipes and along passageways. Engines respond with a deeper vibration as speed changes ripple through the formation. The convoy presses on, a slow-moving geometry of risk and protection, while beneath the surface, other vessels listen and wait. The hinge comes with a sound that is almost nothing, a faint, irregular pulse in the headphones of a sonar operator. It is buried in the background noise of waves and machinery, but it does not belong. The operator's hand tightens on a pencil, marking a bearing on a plotting board. The contact is reported, voice steady but urgent. In the operations room, the escort commander leans over the chart, tracing the convoy's course, the wind, the swell, the likely approach paths. A decision forms in seconds. The destroyer alters course, screws churning harder, bow swinging toward the unseen source. Depth charge crews move to stations, hands on cold metal waiting for the order. The convoy holds its line, trusting the thin ring of steel to keep the threat at bay. As the destroyer closes the bearing, tension sharpens. The sonar trace wavers, then strengthens. The ocean, moments ago a vast and indifferent expanse, now feels crowded with possibilities. The commander must choose, break away fully to prosecute the contact, or maintain position in the screen and risk letting a submarine slip closer to the merchant columns. From here on, every movement of the escort will either tighten or loosen the net around the convoy. Orders are given. The ship heels slightly as it turns, spray lashing the bridge windows. In the depth charge racks, safety pins are pulled, fuses are set by touch in the dim light. Below decks, men feel the change in vibration and know, without words, that the ship is hunting. The first pattern of charges rolls into the sea, and moments later the hull shudders as distant explosions ripple through the water. In the sonar room, the operator listens again, searching the returning echoes for any sign of change. Sometimes the contact proves real, and a submarine is forced down, blinded and deafened for precious minutes, its attack broken. Sometimes it is a false alarm, a school of fish, a thermal layer, a trick of the sea. Either way, the convoy moves on, its geometry flexing and reforming as escorts return to station or shift to cover new gaps. The consequences of each engagement are not always visible. A submarine commander, shaken by a near miss, may choose a more cautious approach next time, or may press harder, convinced that the escorts are overextended. Escort crews learn to read the sea's patterns, to distinguish between the steady, mechanical beat of screws and the random murmurs of the deep. The convoy system evolves with each crossing. New technologies, improved sonar, radar, high-frequency direction finding, are woven into the fabric of procedures and drills. Yet the core remains human, watchfulness, discipline, and the ability to act under uncertainty. The Atlantic becomes a vast classroom of experience, written in wakes and echoes rather than ink. In the quieter hours, when the sea is calm and no contacts disturb the headphones, reflection settles over the steel compartments. The convoy system is more than a tactical arrangement, it is a statement of endurance. Each merchant ship is an individual world, with its own crew, its own cargo, its own memories of ports left behind. Within the convoy, these worlds are bound together by shared risk. The escorts, small and often uncomfortable, live in a state of constant readiness. Sleep comes in short stretches, interrupted by alarms and changes of course. The smell of oil, metal, and damp clothing fills the confined spaces. Yet within this strain lies a kind of order that reshapes the war at sea. Instead of scattered, vulnerable ships, there is a moving fortress of steel and discipline. The submarine threat does not vanish, but it is forced to adapt, to work harder for each opportunity. Over time, the convoy system turns the Atlantic from a hunting ground into a contested corridor where every mile gained has been listened for, plotted, and protected. In archival footage and photographs, the convoys appear as lines of ships on a calm sea, smoke drifting from funnels, escorts cutting white wakes at the edges. The images are silent, but behind them lie the sounds that defined this struggle. The hum of engines, the crackle of wireless sets, the soft clatter of depth charge rails, the steady ping of sonar. Historians trace routes on maps and tally tonnage delivered, but the true measure of the convoy system is found in the continuity it preserved. Factories far from the ocean continued to work because these slow formations kept arriving. Cities stayed lit, Armies stayed supplied, and distant fronts remained connected. The Atlantic convoys did not win the war alone, but without them, much else would have failed. These slow-moving lines of ships carried more than cargo. They carried hope.